All right, we're here. I'm sorry. We're here. This feels weird. This feels really weird. Um, is my mic? No. The mic I think is fine. Mic I believe is good. I think it's my camera. My camera looks like I don't know, like it looks like it's not properly leveled. I don't know what I'm doing anymore here, folks. I go when I interview Joe. How long ago was that? Was that on the 9th? Yeah. So, yeah, it's been almost 2 weeks. Yeah, one and then two. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since I've last streamed. A lot has actually happened since 2 weeks. First off, I am the Gothic storyteller, filmmaker, and writer. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Um, Today we are going to host our double feature. I keep leaning over here in the mic, but I keep forgetting. Hey, you're only in this block. Maybe I need to move the mic. Here we go. A little bit better off over here. So, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I feel like I feel like I've lost myself within these last 2 weeks. I have been actually doing my best to help promote. This is gonna get bright a little bit, so I actually do want to refresh and everything. Help promote Joe's film and everything. I am in no way like a professional advertiser, so I'm like learning all this stuff just as much as Joe is with Kick Booster. But we'll get to that here real quick. I'll plug uh uh oh, wait. I could do a live poll. Are you okay? So first off, I'm all over the place. This is my first stream coming back now, even though next week I am going to take off. So that's why I did start the community voting poll. On my channel, you can go over to where the community posts are. If you're gonna ask me currently who is winning, I do believe I think only one. I do believe only the Puppet Master one I think is in the lead. Yes, it is. So we have Puppet Master 1 through 5. I will cover a very brief for our next community stream, which is going to be April 6th. We're going to be covering Puppet Masters 1 through 5. Funny thing about the Puppet Master franchise is you can kind of break it up and kind of cover it that way. It's a very long franchise of straight to VHS. The Ghost Rider double feature. So this is the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movie. So Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance is one, and then the other one is A Haunting. The 2020, the 2002. God, I'm really struggling here. 2002 series. I've been actually recently binge watching this, and it's been on while I work. It's been on while I go take my naps. For some reason, this show is being a comfort to me. It's really weird. But we have a poll going on. Currently, Puppet Master is winning by 43%, with the other two tied at 29%. You guys still have time for voting. I will cut voting off by Tuesday. So it'll be the 31st, so the end of March. So this voting goes all the way towards the end of March for you guys. So yeah, you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys have 5 more days. 5 more days to vote, and then April 1st is where I will determine who the winner is, which currently right now is Puppet Master. But yeah, so content creating has been going. It's had its ups and downs, its ebbs and flows, like always. And so I got introduced into the Twitch partner. I've been so burnt out. I haven't really had a proper way to actually celebrate. So I actually do want to try to schedule out probably after the community after the community stream, that maybe we'll do a celebration of that. I do still need to get to the other half, so that requires me to get to 1K subscribers, and I do need to get to 4K watch hours. I'm currently sitting at 3,000 and I think 40 something watch hours, 42, 44. I can't remember um the last time I checked it, but I'm around there. So we are slowly inching our way through all of that. Um I know I'm umming a lot, and I'm trying my best not to sit there and do that. But yeah, we unlocked some other incentives and everything. Let me try to boost up, there you go, the light a little bit. Um we got some incentives going on here in the goals. So I did try to start my very first um uh super chat goal, which is just 5 teal super chats. Those are like $2. We just need pretty much just 5 of those, and within the span of 50 minutes, so the end of the stream, um if we hit that and everything, then I will do a extra bonus stream. And who knows, maybe we'll make that bonus stream if we hit our goal, if we hit, one super chat, or yeah, if we hit the goal, the super chat, it's like, yeah, $2, I think. Yeah, it's teal, and you can write whatever message that it is. That stuff goes in there. I'm slowly learning all these little things. I can start a Q&A. I can start a poll. I can do a members only live stream. Interesting. Who knows, maybe I'll start doing that the moment we start kicking in the memberships. You guys can support me through memberships. In doing so, that also means that I'm gonna have to sit there and retool a little bit of my Ko-Fi. But again, my Ko-Fi is there. I do not know if my commands will work. Yeah, I don't see it working. Oh, it worked. So it doesn't list the entire thing. That's, let me try something. Let me see if that'll work. Do you see all the social sis, like Instagram and all that? Because right now it's just showing me the Instagram lot. So yeah, you just see just Instagram. So that could be something I'm gonna have to work on when it comes to when it comes to streaming. But yeah, so I'm refiguring. I'm trying to understand all of this and everything. It's a little bit like Twitch. I do have an understanding that the money you guys do give me, the majority of it actually does go to me. So it's not like YouTube or whatever is taking a huge chunk out of me compared to Twitch. So this is like one of the really big things is getting the support from you guys, that I'm actually able to actually get the majority of those funds and everything. Same thing goes Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi, I get like a far larger percentage of the money that you guys help to support me monthly and everything through my creative stuff. I get a larger majority of that. As much as I sort of miss Twitch, I do not miss that when the people really want to support you and they want you to grow and expand a little bit more. Twitch will try to rake in as much money as possible. And I mean, really, like, the site is kind of hurting itself a little bit. The people who are running it aren't really doing too well. But either way, we're not here to go shit on the purple site right now. Before we get into, I did do a post for the community thing about fatigue, burnout, and the importance of rest. It seemed like a lot of people really like that. I've been doing these daily chapters. They kind of help me when I feel definitely in a slump for writing during the day, and it's kind of like the nice way to just turn the faucet, keep going. Gets the writing juices, I guess you would say, flowing. So yeah, I've been appreciating doing those. I feel like it really does help me, and it seems like you guys really enjoy them. Like a lot of you guys really enjoy. So with that being said, I am gonna switch it off over to here. Boy, that is freaking bright. So I apologize if it seems like it's just nothing but whiteness. So I have actually changed a lot of the content that I'm releasing. I have all of April done. So we have the Gothic films in the 90s, and we are wrapping up the Hammer horror stuff. More on that will be actually said here in the epilogue, which will drop in the middle of April. And then we'll have a supercut where it's essentially all the episodes that I've done wrapped up together nicely. It's like a 40-minute. I think it's I think it's like 40 minutes or so long. And then we have Gothic horror films of the 2000s, 2010s, the 1910s, the 1920s, and 30s. That'll kind of keep you guys all kind of tied over for the majority of summer. And then as we exit out of summer, we have Why the MCU Needs to Embrace Horror. I am really, really excited for that. And to let you guys know even further, to let the community have a little bit more of an opinion when it comes to some of my videos, I will actually have you guys vote when the time comes for this video to be released. You guys will pick the thumbnail. I have 3 thumbnails that I have created. I love each one of them. They all have their own personalities. So you guys, get to sit there and vote on that. And then we'll wrap up for the rest of the year. November we'll have 2 videos. October we'll only have 1, and we'll wrap up the beginning of December with this year with Gothic horror films of the 40s, the 50s, the supercut on that, and then the Company of Wolves. I've really stripped down a lot of the videos I want to do because I think we were really aiming at 21, 22, and I just had to cut an awful lot of them back. Mostly because I am feeling the burnout. I want to keep continuing. I don't want to give up, and so I've been trying to sit there and take care of myself. I am only a one-man crew. I'm the one that's writing these and filming and editing. I still think it's very, very impressive that for my first year on here, that I am able to practically dish out 18 videos. And yeah, like I have all this stuff all planned out, and I actually have, if I can briefly show, I have this all the way up to like 2017 and 2018. So we kind of share like the same numbers here. There's going to be, I don't think there's really going to be a supercut next year. Yeah, no supercuts. So yeah, we're going to make like 17 videos. I may add like an extra one, but we have essentially kind of what the top 5 series was going to be. It was going to be like an essentials kind of thing. So I'm kind of evolving that into the essentials. But the Gothic horror films are going to kind of be something a little bit separate. It's its own show where these, the essentials is going to be definitely a first half of the year series. And then we have our summer series, our Summer of King. And then, I kind of get to sit there and play around and do whatever during the holiday. But with that said, another thing that I also want to bring attention before we start tackling our films is Joe Grasoffi's Sluggers. So the last time I was live, we were talking about it. Holy shit, did we really just hit it? Hold on, I actually have to reload. Oh my god, we actually did it. So if you guys actually do want to sit there and help independent filmmakers, I am actually dropping my code over here for Sluggers. So this is my personal code through Kickbooster and everything, as I am helping Joe fund his film and everything. I'm helping get the word out there. This is the first time I've ever done it. I've never really done anything like this, and it's the same thing for Joe with using Kickbooster. So it's like my creator code. It's my creator code and everything. It's right there for Slugger to Film. If you click on that and everything, it'll take you straight to the Kickstarter that I actually have right here, and we finally passed the 10,000 goal. They are trying to pledge for $25,000, and today, folks, we only have 5 weeks left now of this Kickstarter campaign. We've already passed 10,000. Congrats to Joe Grasoffi and his production company over there. Thank you guys so much. 142 backers. That's freaking amazing. So yeah, go support independent filmmaking. How are you doing, Jessica? How are you doing today? I was just briefly going through that. I've made YouTube partner the first half at least and everything. We're on our way to get the second half of so we can be full YouTube partner. Um, and yeah, uh, I was discussing the super chat over here. If we can get 5 within the end of this stream, because there's a countdown, so we have 40 minutes left. If we can get 5 super chats going, I will do a bonus stream. Today I was not expecting to actually explore the live features when it comes to being Twitch partner. And yeah, like it shows right here, I can do a members only live stream. So who knows, we may actually do that with future streams. With the if we can get a couple more people that actually have memberships, we can actually sit there and do that. Start polls, start a Q&A. It's all so much to freaking learn, and I'm just like, what the hell. Thank you so much, Jessica. I hope that you're doing well. I know the last time we talked, you were dealing with some housing issues because of the weather, upstate. So I really do hope that you have been doing well. I was showing also a little bit of, you'll probably be able to check it back in the VOD. I was showing off 2006 and 2027's content. I actually really need to update Ko-Fi and actually drop that roadmap, because I kind of feel like now I've more solidified it. I think I've cut enough videos to the point that I'm doing somewhere between 18 to 17 videos now per year. I know 2018 is going to be different because I have a third series that I am doing. I am currently working with another creator. I kind of trimmed one of the videos for that, but it's still like, I think like a 6-part series. I gotta sit there and say, do you like supernatural horror comics? That's all that I'm going to sit there and say. But we miss you, Jessica. I really do hope that you have been well. And you're in time, because we are going to talk about our first movie, which is The Stuff, directed by Larry Cohen. This film has a wonderful cast. Yeah, Michael Moriarty playing Mo, the kind of, I guess you would say, industrial spy kind of character. I love Michael Moriarty in this film, and I've discovered, I believe he's in Chud, if I remember correctly. He's done a few other films that I've actually seen him in. I believe he's mostly a Larry Cohen kind of actor. But we have him. We have Andrea Marcovici, Garrett Morris. So if you're an old school, oh, look, there it goes. For some reason it didn't. So the Ko-Fi link is right there. We also, I gotta let you guys know, merch and everything. You guys have 5 more days to get it. 30% off all of it and everything, before we shut down the merch store, and we will not open that back up until October, with some new merch. But yeah, Garrett Morris is in this film. Absolutely love this dude. He was technically the first Ant-Man from SNL. Paul Sorvino's in here, Scott Bloom. There's a lot of wonderful actors in here. And believe it or not, when I saw this film years and years ago, I think I watched it on Tubi. It could have been Tubi, or it could have been Netflix, maybe. I just wanted to watch this film. It looked interesting, and I had no clue that practically what I was watching, pretty much what I was watching was a battle on consumerism in the 80s, about how everything was just success. I believe also too, I discovered this film through a horror documentary of Nightmares in Red, White, and Blue, which is another good horror documentary. If you guys haven't watched it, I believe it's still on Tubi. Go to Tubi. Tubi's where you find all the really, really good classic horror films, and the cult classics. But yeah, no, The Stuff. I sat there and I thought the first time that I watched this is one movie I haven't watched it. You need to watch it, Jessica. It's on Tubi right now. It's on Tubi. It's like, I think 80 minutes long. It's not that long of a film, but It's fun. If you are a fan of the concept of like the Blob, which we will get to that later tonight in our talk and everything, if you're a fan of films like that, the Blob of the extraterrestrial landing down and pretty much swallowing up, Americans. I mean, because usually most of those films are always targeted around Americans. I have yet to really find like a film in the UK where something has fallen to the ground and consumed all the British people. What can I say? Americans taste good, I guess, to aliens. Um, but yeah, no, like if you like films like this is going to be a perfect film for you. Um, while it's not always constant action, there is like a lot of really good intrigue. Michael Moriarty again, constantly on the screen, constantly drawing viewers with his charm and charisma. I kind of like to think of him almost a bit of an '80s version of DiCaprio. You've never heard of this film? It says you got to watch it. You got to watch this stuff. The film also kind of reminds me. Thank you, Jessica, for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um, oh my god, that's my first one. I'm all giddy. What the fuck? Now I'm gonna be swearing. But yeah, like, oh my god, I'm trying to think. So if you've seen RoboCop, and even in RoboCop 2, they kind of had like ads placed in the middle of the movie. The stuff kind of has something like that, especially at the beginning of it when we're trying to understand what it is. All we know is that something had fell from the sky, and these two older guys during like an early snow in winter discover it. One of them for some reason decides, oh, I'm gonna eat it. It's bubbling. What does this taste like? I'm sorry, but the first thing that I'm not gonna do is if I discover something is bubbling in the ground, I am not gonna put my mouth on it. Just because it looks like snow does not mean it's snow. It's probably potato flakes. But yeah, no, the guy eats it, he enjoys it, and soon he starts making his own company selling the stuff. And it becomes this big phenomenal. It's beating out all the other desserts. It's beating out ice cream, yogurt, cookies, cake. It beats everything. It becomes this juggernaut for the dessert industry. And so in comes Michael Moriarty's Mo, who is hired by all of these other executives who are hurting from the stuff because all these people, they're obsessed with it. It's practically a cult, kind of. It's almost like a cult. And so yeah, Mo goes and investigates it. He finds the woman who kind of had found the brand for the stuff and the whole look. And yeah, from there it tumbles on and everything. We start realizing that these people are acting very weird. And the company that Mo is investigating, not our Mo from Twitch, but Mo from the movie, if Mo's watching, Mo. But yeah, as he starts investigating, he starts finding out that the company is actually trying to kill him using the stuff, and we start finding out that the stuff is actually a very sentient being. And the question starts asking is, are you eating it or is it eating you? And that's like one of the film's closing lines when it comes to our heroes have kind of defeated the stuff, but the stuff has now become like a black market item. People got to get their fix, so it's like a drug. But also too, some of the guys that hired Mo in the first place had apparently acquired some of the stuff and have redesigned it to where it's not as much stuff, but there's still a little bit of stuff in there. And Mo and this young child that lost his family to the stuff pretty much force these guys to eat it, to eat the stuff until it starts eating them. It's an interesting monster movie. I absolutely freaking adore this film. It's very much fun. Like, usually I will probably say that most films are fun, but this is like really, really fun. The moment that it feels like it kind of drags on, you have some weird 80s ad. You have women singing, people dancing. You have people's like bodies breaking down as they've consumed so much of this stuff that they just become like this husk. And while the practical effects for that kind of look a little bit dated, it still kind of works. Um, and you get some interesting fight scenes between the human controlled stuffies. I think that's what they call them. They call them stuffies. You have like this crazed military man who um uh all right, sit there say it. The man's very racist towards Grant to Garrett Morris and everything. Uh he also like labels practically almost anyone that doesn't agree with him as a communist, so take with that as you may. um but like that dude is constantly like, on the screen towards the end, and he's fighting the stuffies, and it's all entertaining. I don't really think that there's ever a part of this film I could ever say of I could have lived without that. I could have lived without that scene. It just isn't. But back to like the meaning of it, consumerism. uh the end of the film where the guys are explaining that, oh yeah, like, the taste, we have this new hit phrase, it's called the taste. uh oh my god, Jessica, did you just join our membership? Thank you so much. I appreciate it, folks. You guys can be film students here by joining the membership. Oh my god, thank you so much, Jessica. You're too fucking kind. You're too fucking kind. I appreciate you so much, love. Um but um yeah, when they're mentioning the taste, how they've rebranded the stuff, they've taken a lot more stuff. They're trying to dilute it by adding other stuff to it. I can't help but sit there and think that maybe that there was also going to be maybe a sequel to this, maybe not. Um, but at the same time, there's more commentary of not just consumerism, but just what's in our food and everything. So like all the dyes and everything, the stuff that, you're all like, man, this tastes so good, but God, why is it like killing my stomach? I definitely feel like it's commentary on I don't think just the dessert industry, but just the food industry to begin with. So you have consumerism and just the constant selling, 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 buy. You have that going on. And then on the other hand, you have the commentary of um what's in our foods, the additives, the fillers, the things that are destroying our insides. It makes us ask, are we eating it or is it eating us? Yeah, I've always seen like videos of like what people say what Coca-Cola does to the liver, and like they'll sit there and they'll have like a whole liver like in a pan, and they'll fill up the whole pan with like Coca-Cola. And I'm like, first off, to me, I'm all like, who's soaking their liver in cola like that to the point that your cola is gonna rot like that? I don't know anyone that I know at my age or even when I was younger who's throwing back like a whole pack of soda all in one sitting. I don't see that. But I understand the message that they're trying to make. But yeah, it takes these two different core identities and it puts it into a really well done monster movie with very likable characters. Some of them kind of cartoonish because Garrett Morris plays Chocolate Chip Charlie. But I mean, I wouldn't want to fuck with Chocolate Chip Charlie. This damn dude is over here doing karate moves and beating the hell out of stuffies left and right. It's a wonderful film. If you've seen other Larry Cohen films like It's Alive or Cue the Winged Serpent, you kind of already know going into this film what you're buying. It's the stuff, enough's never enough. But yeah, like I think for anyone that has not seen a Larry Cohen film, you're gonna think this is weird. No, it's not. This is just Larry Cohen's world. This is the world of a New Yorker who, oddly enough, makes, I don't want to sit there and say a grindhouse, but it's definitely like maybe a pulp style. But he doesn't, usually pulp style is always kind of looked at as like a serious genre that shouldn't take itself too seriously, but it kind of does. This doesn't. It knows what it is. It pokes fun at everything. Um, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful film, and if you have not seen this, I encourage you to go. It's on Tubi. I should just be a spokesperson at this point for Tubi because all the good stuff is on Tubi. But we have that there. We are gonna move on to our next one. My stomach is actually messing with me a little bit, so we may actually have to cut stream short today. No, I have not had any of the stuff, but I feel like the stuff is eating me. Last minute thing too that I actually learned. I think I learned this from YouTuber and Twitch streamer Reanimator. um, I believe I learned that the stuff, because she's covered this film I think plenty of times on her streams, is one part whipped cream and one part shaving cream. So like a lot of that stuff where like actors are like eating it, they're eating whipped cream and shaving cream mixed together. I know probably shaving cream must have been a little bit more healthier compared to the shaving cream now, but oh, I feel bad for all the extras and all the people that like kind of maybe while pretending to eat, maybe they actually ate a little too much and they got sick. Like, yeah, no, I could never do that. But moving on to our next film, we are covering the 1988 The Blob. So this one is actually pretty interesting because I've seen this film a couple of times, but I've never really uh looked at the cast so much. So this film came out 30 years after the original. Uh and the original is okay. It's okay for a bad drive-in B movie about a giant pink like gelatin. Really, I don't even think it's pink. It was more clear. It wasn't until after I think it started consuming humans that's where it brought on its pink features. Because you know the blood and everything. But um, the Blob has a very interesting cast. It was directed by Chuck Russell, which if that name does not ring a bell for you, this man is very big in horror. He worked on The Scorpion King. He worked on A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. He did the movie Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He directed The Mask with Jim Carrey. So this guy has quite a lot. His last film that he directed and did was the 2024 reboot of Witchboard, which had the guy who played Vecna from Stranger Things. I haven't seen it. I love the original Witchboard, even though that one is like, it's a really weird, it's just a really weird film. But yeah, Chuck Russell, very very talented man. Um, but the casting in this is wonderful. So Shawnee Smith is the lead as Meg Penny with Kevin Dillon as Brian Flagg. Um, you have Jeffrey DeMum as Sheriff, Herb Geller. I'm trying to go through some of these maybe big names. Paul McCrane as Deputy Bill Briggs. If Paul Crane does not ring a bell to you, he was in RoboCop. He was the dude that was covered in all of the acid, and RoboCop ran him over, and he just like exploded into this big liquid bag. You know, I think the only thing that was solid somewhat left was his skull, and like that one spun in the air. But Jeffrey DeMum, you guys may sit there and know him. He did a few of the Stephen King properties, like The Mist, and he did The Walking Dead. He played, bloody hell, I have IMDb up. I can easily pull these things. But he played one of the he was in The Grey Mile as Harry Twigger. Twelliger? That's an interesting name. Captain Estridge in The Hitcher, Brostwig in The X-Files. I think that's the movie, the 1998 film. He was Dan Miller in The Mist. I'm trying to find what he did for, because this again has been a while, but for The Walking Dead, he played Dale Horvath for, I think 2 to 3 seasons. Dale was like one of those very sweet guys, who did a lot for the people, even though like they were very selfish people and they didn't really care for Dale. They cared, but they kind of felt like Dale kind of over cared about him. But Jeffrey DeMum is a fantastic actor. He plays, he was also in Stephen King's The Storm in the Century. He played the town mayor. The town mayor. I'm sorry for all my Mainites. I guess that would be the name. Bill Moseley also had a cameo as Soldier Number 2 in The Sewers. He was in here. So this film has like a lot of really interesting character actors. Arthur LaFleur as the pharmacist. You may have seen him. He's a familiar face. But he was in the original MASH. He was in Sandlot, Field of Dreams, Cobra. if the name doesn't ring a bell, probably once you see his face, you're like, I've seen that guy. I've seen that guy somewhere on screen. Um, but the two film leads are Kevin Dillon, who we'll start with first, who worked on like '06 Poseidon. He was John Dinsmore in the 1991 Doors biography. He was in Platoon. He played Bunny in that one. Um, I'm trying to find a couple more. I think he was also in Entourage. Yes, he did the TV show Entourage. Um, so I'm trying to kind of put somewhat of a face to you guys. But yeah, Kevin Dillon, not Matt Dillon. Kevin Dillon kind of plays like this outcast, kind of bad boy, kind of similar to Judd. Oh my god, I'm losing his name. Not Mike Judd, but I think it's Judd Nelson from the Breakfast Club. I kind of feel like the Breakfast Club just kind of got copied so many times with its character archetypes. Um, Judd Nelson, yes, Judd Nelson is John Bender. But yeah, that's kind of like what Dylan plays and everything. He's looked at as a bad boy. Apatow, not Judd Apatow. Judd Apatow is a director. Judd Apatow did like oh my god, and it's Appa and then like toe, like kind of like your toe in your car, Judd Apatow. Yeah, no, he did stuff like This Is 40, Knocked Up, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Funny People, Trainwreck, King of Staten Island. He did Heavyweight, Super Bad, a film called The Bubble. Never heard of that one. He did Bridesmaids, Pineapple Express, Forgetting Cheryl Marshall, Anchorman, The Legend Continues, The Big Sick, Walk Hard, The Dewey Cox Story, Step Brothers. He wrote Cable Guy. That's a film I really want to cover one of these days. I really want to cover Cable Guy, but I think we kind of covered it to a certain. But yeah, no. That's the director. Judd Nelson was the one I was thinking of from Breakfast Club. But yeah, we were close enough. But yeah, he plays this bad boy. He's being blamed for like the murder of this bum, and then all of a sudden there's like a lot of these apparent murders going on that they can't really sit there and they can't explain the reasonings of these deaths, and he's kind of like he's just the town bad boy that just gets blamed, and all what the dude wants is to have his chopper and to kind of be left alone. I don't really think he's one of those characters like, I want to be understood, man. It's like, no, he just wants to be left alone with his chopper, and just do him. He's a very independent person compared to the small town small town folks that are all about community this and sticking together, blah blah blah. The typical shtick when it comes to how they describe Midwesterners and everything, which I know that's a very broad scope to kind of throw everyone in there. I know that there's not everyone's like that, but either way, Shawnee Smith. So if Shawnee Smith does not ring a bell to you, she played Amanda in the Saw franchise. Meg Penny, I think was like one of her early breakout roles. I think it was like one of the few times that she was actually given a lead. She had started as a dancer in Annie in 1982, and it looks like she's done quite a bit of film and TV work leading up to that, to the Blob. And then you had like Who's Harry Crumb that she did. She did an episode of The X-Files. She played Julie Laurie in The Stand, who, if you are a Stephen King fan, you may know who Julie Laurie is, but if you have seen The Stand, she is the crazy chick that essentially tried to screw Rob Lowe in the 93 miniseries, and then bullied Patrick for being slow. The actor who did the voice of Patrick Star in SpongeBob. She bullies him for being slow. Rob Lowe stands up for him, and she pretty much takes an assault rifle and chases him out of town, shooting at him. She's definitely one of Randall Flagg's lieutenants in Vegas. Still a very important role, because if you read the book, she has her moments. Apparently, she was a waitress in the Shining TV miniseries. I need to go I need to go return to that. You can watch that on Tubi actually. There's another Tubi plug. Tubi, pay me. But she played a redhead in Armageddon. Didn't know that. She was in the '98 remake of Carnival of Souls that I did not know. But it seems like she did like she went back to more TV stuff. She did a couple of films and everything, Dogtown, and she didn't really kind of get her big break again, her second win um, until she did Saul. She apparently had a reoccurring role on the show called Becker. Sounds familiar, but I have no clue. But pretty much she's been clinging on to the Saul franchise, I believe, for like the longest. Um, and why not? People enjoy her. She's a really, really good villain. But in this one, she plays a very, very kind of sweet Midwestern woman who is just trying to figure out what killed her boyfriend, what ate him, what consumed him, and this homeless dude. And she knows the only way that she's going to get some answers is if she works with Kevin Dillon. Um, and yeah, it's very cut and dry to that compared to the stuff where the stuff definitely has like a lot of layers of deep meanings of commentary on commercialism and the food industry. The Blob is just your regular run-in-the-mill monster film that you turned on and you just turn your brain off. You really just kind of enjoy yourself. um this film has some of the best special effects uh for this, and I'm gonna try to see, hopefully IMDb is not gonna try to lock me out by sitting here saying, oh, if you want to see the full cast and crew, then um you know uh yeah, you know what, I think they're gonna do that because I think they locked that now behind the IMDb Pro account, and I hate that. I hate that. It's like, just give us what we want and we'll go away. Give us the information. Top cast, writers, okay, cast and crew. I had passed it up. But I want to sit there and say I think K&B Effects, who most people kind of know these guys for The Walking Dead. I want to sit there and say I think K&B actually did the special effects for it, or at least some of the early guys that did that. Frank Darabont, who again worked on Stephen King projects, he did the first season and half of season 2 of The Walking Dead. Very, very uh, important um, guy in horror and everything. He did really good. I'm trying to find. Art director was Jeff Glenn. Costume designs, makeup department. All right, I'm trying to find it. Um, there's Steve Franks, who did mechanical constructor, makeup effects crew. I'm trying to find. Okay, so Tony Gardner did special effects, makeup, and animatronic effects. Cynthia Gardner. I feel like Tony Gardner is someone I should actually know. He worked with Daft Punk. Apparently, he did Michael Jackson's Thriller. He worked on such films as 127 Hours, Zombieland, Double Tap, Hocus Pocus, and Bad Grandpa. He was oh, so um he worked under Rick Baker. So that's probably where I probably actually know him and everything. So I'm guessing Cynthia Gardner is the wife. Are we watching the movie? I can't see it. No. We are not watching the movie. We're just talking about the movie. Welcome in King of Sanity. We are not watching the movie. Um, I'm actually looking through the IMDb credits, and it's actually super bright that I don't really want to blind you guys. But I could have sat there and swore I thought that the K&B guys worked for the special effects on the Blob. Um, Maybe if I just ask the internet instead of trying to hunt it down on IMDb. Um, yeah, Tony Gardner did it. Lyle Conway and Stuart Ziff. The creature known as the Blob Quilt was brought to life by a crew of 33 people, including mechanical engineer Bill Sturgeon. Um, watch the movie, you furniture humper. It's good. What the fuck? Okay. Uh, let's yeah, no. Furniture humper, like God, come back with some better material. But yeah, no. What was I sitting here saying? I absolutely love the film. for its effects and everything. I love the design. I love the kills and everything. I still think one of the best kills of that film is, quite sadly, Shawnee Smith's his boyfriend. Um, he just having like this blob thing like be on the roof and then just drop right on him, or not on the roof but on the ceiling, and then drop right on him. Um, uh, Hold on, let me. Uh, yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. Hopefully we got rid of the fucker. But yeah, watching him be like just covered by the blob, and then he's reaching out to Shawnee Smith, and you know, he's like over here just trying to, you know, he's trying to reach help, and it's just a beautiful visual. I absolutely freaking adore it, and uh uh yeah, I think you guys should, actually sit there and watch it. Um, if you haven't seen it and everything, definitely go watch it. I should, you know, I should actually probably also have like a spoiler sign, to put it on there. Um, but to let you guys know that we're talking about spoilers, and I'm trying to kind of not spoil too much of it. I mean, like, really, at the end of the day, it's a fucking monster movie. It's a monster movie. It comes to Earth. It's here to eat, kill, maim, whatever it is. Unless it's slithered, then it comes to mate, which is even more scary. But yeah, it's just a monster movie. That's all that it is and everything. An alien invasion body horror monster movie. The least said about it, the better. We are actually going to sit there and wrap up here real quick. Thank you, Jessica Jones, though, for kicking off our super chat and being our first member. I really, really do appreciate it, and I adore you so much. We So yeah, I think the next stream that we're gonna do is April 6th. I usually I sit there and stream the last on the last Monday of the month. I usually do a like letterbox film diary. But I've been so busy, I really haven't been able to actually really sit there and watch the movie, or watch enough movies. I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of bed rotting in between like the resting. I pretty much I rested most of this month away because I just needed the rest. I've been pushing myself to burn out. Monday, I had finished wrapping up the Hammer horror videos that I was making. Those were released in middle and late April for next month and everything. And I felt like I kind of overpushed myself. That's the thing that I have to learn. I got to kind of stop. I have to really stop. Like, when I lock it in for when I lock it in for my projects, I sometimes forget times. I forget to just pull back, do a little bit at a time. No, I do it until I get the project done, and I've been suffering this week for it too. But next week I get back into editing before I go and I do another week, another break for the week and everything. And then yeah, we're gonna be finishing back up. I should have probably by June. I should have the rest of this year's content done. I believe I can sit there and do it and everything because I like to have everything done in case I got to change something last minute. Thank you, Jessica, again for being our very first member. I really, really do appreciate that and everything. I'll figure out a day when we do the when we'll do like the celebration. And yeah, like we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up here and everything. Thank you everyone for being here. And yeah, you know what? We're just gonna wrap it off. Thank you guys again so much again for being here.